Hey everybody, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Digital Demons podcast. As you can see, I have a new studio setting. Pretty cool. Still working everything out, but yeah, we're back to it. This is the second year of podcasting as of now. So just wanted to shout out everybody last year that was tuning in and listening to episodes, whether it was on a podcast platform or watching the episodes once we got going on YouTube. It's been a while since the last episode, so I'm doing this one just solo for right now. Kayla will probably be in here the next episode. Um, but yeah, man, just clearing out this office space and getting everything in order. Obviously, got some little bit of decor going on. Got some other shit in the works, but that's kind of on the low for right now. So yeah, we're back at it, and well, I'm back at it right now. Kayla will probably be in for the next episode, or maybe my brother, or if you guys are bold enough to come and sit in the chair, I'd love to have some other guests on at the house or wherever we may be in the world this year. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody for listening throughout last year. It was kind of a trip just to see the amount of reach that the show got. I think we were played in, I think it was 21 countries, so that was just fucking wild just to see that. Pretty cool, just to, as a hobby kind of thing. Um, to see that it got a little bit of attention all across the whole world in different countries and a whole bunch of different cities in the U.S. And so I was hyped to see that at the year end when we were wrapping up. I know the last episode was right after the election, and then I just got fucking stupid busy with work and holiday season and stuff like that. So I had to kind of, like I said before, prioritize just shit going around, personal stuff, at home, whatever. Nothing major, nothing bad, but just kind of getting my shit squared away. Before I was ready to really step it up. As you can see, it kind of has a little bit of an ambiance now, a little bit of a cooler feel. We were just chilling in the living room, shooting the other episodes and recording all the other episodes and stuff. So wanted to kind of kick it up a little bit and make it a little more personable and yeah, just kind of jazz things up. But yeah, happy New Year to everybody. Hope everybody had a safe and sound holiday season. 2025 is going to be amazing. We're, like I said before, we're off to a good start. Looking forward to the inauguration on the 20th and just fucking killing it this year. That's the main priority. So we got a lot of stuff to go over, or I do. I have a lot of stuff to go over. Was really busy towards the end of the year. Had some travel stuff going on with work, which was fun. But yeah, dude, I got to bust my notes out already because there's just a ton of stuff. So since the last podcast, we got a new snake, which was pretty rad. One of my buddies, Alex, shout out Alex, if you're listening, watching, whatever. Yeah, he was moving and we were lucky enough to get one of his snakes that he was having that he was trying to rehome. So we made a tabletop deal in front of some other friends before he moved. We had like a little dinner thing and just real kind of casual, nothing crazy dressed up. And he had mentioned he was rehoming some snakes and stuff. And Kayla is all about that reptile life. I kind of am now that we've had them for a long time. I've been kind of used to them. I don't reach in and grab the snake at all or snakes. And I'm kind of warming up to the idea of maybe, not trying to be Steve Irwin or anything like that, but, maybe trying to get a little more friendly towards them. But yeah, so anyways, yeah, Alex, was cool enough to rehome one of the snakes to us, and it didn't come without a cost because, I made a tabletop deal and I made sure everybody that was at the table seen it, heard it, and verified it. So in exchange for this snake on Bikayla's on Bikayla, on behalf of Kayla, Jesus Christ. We made a deal amongst people that if she gets this snake, I get another Rottweiler. Seems like a fair trade to me. Sounds like a good deal to me. And there's no timetable on when we're going to get another one. Blaze is plenty enough for right now. And being that I'm going to be traveling soon, I don't want to really leave her here with a brand new puppy and the chaos that ensues between the three cats and Blaze all the time. So that's going to be on hold for a little bit. But once again, man, thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. The snake's doing good. And for those of you that are curious, uh, we did like, I don't even think it was really research, but yeah, the snake is actually, from what we've learned, a firefly leopard ivory ball python. So it's like a morph, I guess. So yeah, it's really sick though. She's got like yellow and brown, black, and all kinds of cool looking colors and stuff. So we got her hooked up. She's living in the front of the house. Um, and then we have MJ in the back. And so yeah, we're just like a fucking zoo over here. So like I said, not trying to get a Rottweiler puppy mixed into all this this chaos right now. But yeah, also before the year was over, I spent a week in Texas for work, which was cool. Went out there with a couple people for a class, and which was really interesting. Took a lot of that info from that class, and it was really cool. But dude, Texas was a trip. We were in like the Fort Worth area, and within the first 3 hours, dude, we drove past a freaking murder scene that was like all roped off. There's like 50 cops out in front of this like apartment complex, and it was just jammed with people, you know, the looky loos and nosy people. They had like some news people there. And I'm like, dude, we haven't even been here half of a day yet, and we're already seeing some wild shit, car accidents galore. Um, yeah, it was just like kind of like what the fuck's going on right when we first got there. Yeah, but it was tight though because we had basically our personal tour guide. One of the guys that was on the trip had a friend that lived out there, and he was cool enough to just be like, "Hey, yeah, I'll take you guys around, show you guys some shit, and yeah, kind of just give you a tour of the area, pretty much." So we linked up with him a couple times, and yeah, it was really fun. It was a good time. The class was intense, so we focused a little bit more on that and didn't really do anything crazy. It's not like we're there for party time. But we did some sightseeing and stuff. We went to like the stockyards and everything, and it was cool just to see all that kind of like old type setting and everything like that. Some of the OG shit that's down there, um, and just kind of did our little tourist thing for the time that we were there. We did go through a drive-through liquor, like a liquor store, and that was a first for me because I'd never seen anything like that. Like we have like dairies and stuff. You can go, you know, pull a 6 pack and they'll bring it out to your car and stuff like that. But there, we drove through, and you know they put an order in or whatever. It was like, oh, they were gonna get like 12 Modelo's or whatever it was, and the lady goes, "Do you want ice?" And I'm thinking like, oh damn, that's pretty cool. Like they got their shit in order. Got ice, whatever. And they were like, yeah. And so I'm thinking like she's gonna lug out one of those 2 or 5 pound ice bags, and she comes back and she's got this brown box like totally open. It's lined with plastic, and the beers are all situated in ice. So I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on right now? And yeah, you're able to order like all kinds of shit. Like you can get like micheladas or whatever you want, and they just bring it to you in a foam cup. So I was kind of like, dude, this is pretty rad. That was pretty cool. And then what else, dude? Like I have so much shit on here. Yeah, we went through there. We went to a couple barbecue places. This place Risky's that was down in the stockyards. We cruised through there. We went to Second Rodeo, I believe, was another little joint that we stopped in and hung out for a little bit. That place was cool because there are seating arrangements inside of like I guess like a restaurant, or not even a restaurant. It's kind of like a finger foods kind of thing. If you've never been there before. And they had all their seating arrangements were old truck beds, which I thought was really cool because I like just that concept was pretty sweet to me. And they had like the wooden seating, but it was all inside of the truck bed, so You can get to chill in a truck bed, listen to some country music or whoever's playing on the stage or whatever. So it was a cool little vibe in there. And then we just kind of just tooled around there. And then, like I said, we were busy with the schooling and stuff like that, had the class or whatever you want to call it. And so my point going down there was I had to see a Buc-ee's. So we did a bunch of other stuff. Like we went to that barbecue place the first night, and then we did some school stuff. And I was kind of just thinking like, we got to do something. Like, so I started looking up, and it kind of totally slipped my mind once we got there, just because I was so focused on doing the class portion of the trip, which was what we were there for in the first place. I started looking up stuff, and we were probably, I don't know, like 15, 20 minutes or whatever from Dallas. And so I was like, oh, dude, the JFK site, we got to go see that. Like, I've always wanted to see that since I was little. And so we drove over to Dallas one of the nights and just kind of just tooled around downtown. We saw like the JFK area, the grassy knoll, all the historical shit that went down over there with the JFK assassination and stuff. And it was just kind of like eerie. No, I wouldn't even say eerie. It was just kind of like, dude, you're thinking about it as you're like standing in the middle of the street, because there's one way traffic on the street right there. So you kind of had a little bit of an opportunity to go out there, take pictures, and just kind of observe, I guess, get a firsthand look at it. And you're just thinking like, dude, I'm standing right here where, you know, a sitting president was fucking assassinated in front of like the whole world. And you kind of just like get that like that, oh shit kind of feeling, like that moment. And you're just like, dude, this is crazy. Like, just right up in this building over here, right to where I'm standing at, just like that, you know, it happened. And so that was kind of cool to see. I wouldn't say that the situation's cool, don't get me wrong, but it was an interesting thing to see as part of, you know, US history, and, you know, known around the world for what happened right there. So it was cool to see that in that aspect. And then we just kind of tooled around Dallas. And to be honest with you, Dallas is cool, but it's just kind of like everywhere else, like especially like LA. There was, you know, homeless dudes hanging out, and, you know, people asking for change and this and that. And we saw one guy just completely laid out, just sleeping on the sidewalk. And I'm like, oh, nothing new, man. This is like the same shit we see back home in California, dude. Like, you know, it's just everywhere. It's plagued the states. But also to our rental car. Okay, so we get to the airport and we're like, all right, cool, you know, SUV, cool, right on. We get into like the area where you get into the cars, like you take the car from the area of the airport. Our luck of the draw is we get a car, nice, 2023 Ford Explorer, and it's got fucking California plates on it. So I'm like, okay, dude, like, what are the odds? We couldn't get one of the thousands of other cars from this place that have Texas plates. We're from California. We're driving a car that's rental with California plates. I was like, we're gonna get fucked with, like, when we're on the road. Like, we're gonna get honked at, beeped, flipped off, whatever. And luckily, nothing really happened at all with the car situation. But I was kind of like, what are the chances we get a damn car with California license plates when we're in Texas? Like, can't we just fit in just a little bit around here and kind of not be so, you know, sore thumb? Obviously, because California plates, you look at it and you're like, gays or whatever you want to call it, you know, that are in that car over there, the California boys. And we're just like, fuck, man, like, kind of bummed on that situation, but it is what it is. Yeah, Dallas though, we went and saw like the giant eyeball down there, and it was cool. It was a good little time, and it was a good week. Ended up doing good with the class situation, got all that passed. And then we went to Buc-ee's. That was like my main thing, was we had to go to Buc-ee's. I needed to go to Buc-ee's. And so we drove, I think it ended up being like 30 or 40 minutes from where we were at to the Buc-ee's. And dude, when I say if you've never been in one, you have got to go to one. It's the most trippiest thing. It's so fucking big. Like, you walk in and it's just like sensory overload. There's like chips and drinks and all this shit all over the place. And then you go further back into the one that we went to. I don't remember exactly where it was at, but yeah, dude, just tons of shit. They got people cooking up like brisket and pulled pork sandwiches. In the middle, there's a whole beef jerky wall. And then there's like stuff for your house, there's clothing, there's outdoor stuff, there's little stuff for your car, all the Bucky's merch. And of course I got merch. I got a bunch of shit. Got a couple of matching Bucky's t-shirts for um, Kayla and I, and then I got Blaze one also that matches, all red. And yeah, it was just cool, man. It was a cool little place to go check out. And then we did Top Golf also. On the way back, we were kind of just like, what do we want to do? Like, this is kind of like our last night here or whatever. We got to do something, rad. And we were gonna do axe throwing, and so we were looking it up, trying to find a place. We found a place, and then we get on the freeway, and it's just crazy ass traffic. And we passed a go-karting place. It was an Andretti place. And I was like, oh, they got karting right there. And it's like multiple stories. The track goes up and down or whatever. And but it was like $50 for like one heat race. And I was like, no, fuck this. And so I was just sitting in the car with the other two guys, and I threw out like, oh man, I wonder if they have like a Top Golf. And so we looked it up, and it was funny because like situational wise, we were just kind of bouncing ideas off. And I thought about that. I'd never been before. And the other two guys, I think either one of them or both of them had been before. And so we look it up, and we're like, oh, how far away is this? And it was literally the very next exit from where we were at on the freeway. So we jumped off, we got to Top Golf, and we golfed for like, I think an hour and a half. And dude, I don't know what got into me. Like I was channeling the fucking spirit of Tiger Woods or something, but I was I was doing pretty good, not gonna lie. It was kind of funny because the other guys were just talking shit, like, damn, they were calling me Happy Gilmore and all that shit. And I thought it was just gonna be like kind of like, oh, maybe it's just like a first couple hits or lucky, I'm getting them, dude. And I just started fucking line driving every single one of them, and I was just like, oh shit, like, all right, I've played golf obviously before, not like heavy, but I used to go to the driving ranges a lot, and then I just kind of fell off. Hadn't seen my golf clubs in ages, and it was funny because for Christmas, Kayla ended up getting me a new set of golf clubs, and like a full on like practice net and everything. It's pretty rad. I haven't set the net up just yet, just because we've been kind of busy doing stuff. But yeah, I can't wait to get back into it. I lived actually on a golf course. Like our backyard was the third hole of the course, and we were there for I think 7 years, and ended up playing on that course I think maybe once or twice in that 7 years, and we'd get hit with golf balls all the time. Like the house would just get fucking blasted with golf balls. Never once went through the window though, so that was cool. But yeah, making the return to another outdoor activity. I was playing softball for a little bit, and that just kind of just abruptly ended. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna play softball anymore. I'd like to, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I can golf all the time if I want now. So looking forward to that. Getting some use out of those new clubs, and I'm pretty excited actually because I haven't like really like legit golfed in a while. But yeah, man. Holidays are always stressful though. We had Christmas here at our house for the first time. We had both sides of the family together, which was cool. It was a really like special time, special night and stuff. And then we went down and did Hanukkah with her side of the family, which was really fun. I had like a full 2 weeks off from work, no doing shit. I mean, we were just like in that zone of like a time period where you just don't even know what the fucking day is of the week. You're not even keeping track of time during the day. You're like, did I wake up at 12 today? Cool. What time am I going to bed? I don't know, kind of thing. Staying up all night doing whatever we want. And it was a good time, much needed break, and a reset for this year. And yeah, dude, we were just watching like a ton of TV, like pretty much the whole time we were off. I pretty much exclusively watch YouTube. I'm a huge YouTube guy. So we were watching a lot of stuff on a bunch of different channels. We'd pick shit and just watch a few things here and there, but we really only stick to like, well, she has her shows that she watches like during the day, And then I get home and then we'll end up watching something fucking dumb on YouTube. That's just how we work. But we always watch Kill Tony. I always talk about Kill Tony. Love the shit out of that show. We got the live stream package on the website for their New Year's Eve live stream. So we did that, and then we watched them like the day after, before they were on like YouTube and stuff like that. So those were cool, pretty funny. Had a lot of like good like formal comedians that were on there. They had like Andrew Dice Clay on there. And then they had like their regulars, which was cool. Cam Patterson, and then I live for that show specifically just to watch William Montgomery. That dude is a fucking riot to watch. Big fan of William Montgomery and Tony Hinchcliffe, and everybody that really comes through that show is always just fucking super powerful on stage, and it's funny as hell to watch. So we're always about watching Kill Tony. We started watching Power Slap, which was hilarious. We just were like binging like fights and stuff on YouTube. So we were watching a ton of that, watching people should get the shit slapped out of them. We rewatched Squid Games the first season because the second season came out, and out of the two seasons, I think Squid Games 1 was good. Squid Games 2 was better. And I don't know. I'm pretty sure everybody's watched it now, but I'm gonna hold off on like the little tidbits until Kayla gets in here because she can kind of go back and forth with me on that one. I personally think though, Squid Games 2 was better than the first season. It's just my opinion. But like Netflix had to do their thing like normal. It's like you have something that's good, and then it takes them like 150 years to come out with Squid Games 2. And you had like the what's the guy's name? Thanos or whatever his name was with the purple hair. He was kind of an odd character. And then they had like their weird like trans character that just was there. And you're kind of just like, okay. Like you didn't have that season 1. Like we all know if we've seen season 1, that wasn't really kind of the aim of the show, but the person was like kind of like a staple person in the show. Like they would pop up and do like important shit, or they would have something to say, and it was just kind of odd, you know. It's just so Netflix, you know. Netflix just does their weird shit like that. And yeah, we watched those. And then I was watching just the other night. I kind of just blew through it. Since it was the weekend kind of coming up, I was just like, I'm just gonna watch this through the week and then maybe start the other season. I was watching season 2. I didn't see the first season of Musician Mansion, and I thought it was cool. It was a Jared Dines show that's on YouTube, and if you're not familiar with Jared Dines, he's a sick ass guitar player, but he's been on YouTube for 10 plus years. And so he created this show, and he puts 15 musicians into a house, mansion, whatever you want to call it. And then he splits them into 3 bands. And then he does like musical challenges, and then they have to write songs and cover songs and stuff like that. And then there's like side challenges and stuff. It's a pretty cool concept. But I was kind of disappointed that the band that I wanted to win didn't win, because it was based off like a money thing. Like they do challenges and performances, and they're based off of like the judges will score them like up to $150 say, and they're like, oh, we're gonna give you like a 120 from me and like 101 from me and 115 from me. So it adds up, and then the band with the most money at the end is the winner. Not so much like who the best band is, it's the band that has the most money. I didn't like that concept personally, but overall it was a cool show, and I'll probably go back and watch the first season. But yeah, that's just weird shit that I watch on YouTube all the time. Like I was watching, I watch like random videos sometimes, and I'll just start just clicking on whatever. But I am sick and tired, and I think this year will be the year that I do the YouTube Premium, because there's nothing more annoying to me than being like immersed in a show or a video or something like that. That's pretty good length if you're not watching like a music video or something, and you have a fucking 3 or 4 minute long commercial, and you can't skip it. You're just sitting there just like, oh my God, dude, I need to be done with this right now. So I am going to get YouTube Premium, get rid of all the commercials because I can't stand to see the same fucking commercial 800 times every 3 minutes. It's like the dumbest thing ever. And it never used to be like that. Anybody that's ever been on YouTube or, not on YouTube, but, messed around with it can tell you that it's never been like that. You've seen like the commercial space in a video and advertising and stuff like that has like quadrupled. And I just think it's bullshit. So I'm getting the YouTube Premium and getting rid of all those commercials, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Um, yeah. So besides that, you know what we're here for. We love our politics, and nothing brought me more joy than the other day when we had to watch Kamala Harris certify the election that she lost. And I mean, she did her job as the vice president. She had to go up there. She did it. So I mean, we'll do a small tip of the cap to her. Um, but yeah, it was just a weird situation. She had to certify basically the election that she lost. She had to say the amount of votes and then the majority that was needed to win. Obviously, it was a huge margin between the two, as we all know. And yeah, dude, she had to stand up there and just basically be embarrassed for a whole congressional session. And then she had to go and swear in all the new senators, which majority of them were Republican. And you see JD Vance like off in the back, and he's just fucking cracking up. Like, the dude is losing it. He's just, ear to ear smiling and just totally enjoying it because, she's hating every fucking second of this. Like, these transactions with these people, from swearing them in to shaking their hands, and it was just it was a good thing to see. And then yeah, so we get back from doing some grocery shopping the other day just to switch up now. And there's a catalytic converter thief in my neighborhood, and it's not a good thing because those are super fucking expensive. And luckily, we got super cool ass neighbors to the left and right of our house, and they're always watching out for stuff and letting us know like if there's any kind of like weird shady business going on. And really, honestly, though, couldn't be more thankful for them because the dude that lives across the street from me on the corner house, he's got the same kind of truck that I do. And he goes, hey, Ryan, like, I got to let you know, like, homeboy over here got his catalytic converter fucking cut off the other night. And it was like 12 midnight or whatever it was. And so I'm thinking like, fuck, dude, if they were right there. Luckily, we were out of town because guaranteed they're going to get a twofer they can. So they specifically got his truck. It's fucked up. And thankfully they didn't get mine. So I'm like low key in the market for like a catalytic converter, like shield or something like that I can buy for the truck. So I've been kind of perusing around, and I got a friend that I used to work with that had bought a whole bunch of accessory shit for his truck, and we have the same type of truck. So I'm considering hitting him up and seeing if he knows or if he can remember the brand that he bought, because I would just pretty much just buy the same shit. It's tried and true, I guess, with him. But yeah, hopefully the fucking catalytic converter thief gets like fucking ran over or something. Speaking of that, there was actually a situation out here where there was a lady in an excursion, and she was at like a Best Buy or a Target or whatever, sitting in the car, and they didn't know that she was in there. She had like the seat was like reclined back. And so the dude ran under it, like startled her, and she drove over the top of him and killed him. And I was like, 10 points for her, 0 for him. Excellent. Like, you just took out a criminal, which was amazing to hear. It was great news. I like applauded it and commented like, very good job. Excellent. So yeah, fuck the catalytic converter thieves around here because they're just pieces of shit. You can't figure out a way to get money, so you're going to go fucking destroy somebody else's shit that they've had to pay for and work hard for. And yeah, I'm not having it. Not fucking having it. So I'm looking for shit to fix that issue around here. Mainly just the cover for the truck. And hopefully I don't have to fucking smack somebody in the head with a baseball bat. That would suck. But I would totally do it. So don't put it past me. So stay the fuck away from my truck. Let's see what else we got. We got a bunch of weird shit going on lately. California is fucking burning right now. like usual. I just said this to somebody the other day. It's like an annual phenomenon now out here. Like every 2 or 3 weeks, there's some shit jumping off with some wildfires. Okay, so we all have heard by now. It's been like a couple days since all the fires in the Palisades, Altadena, and Studio City, and all this shit. And there's people that are kind of like, oh, this happens all the time. We should know, like, it gets hot. Well, considering that we're in fucking winter right now, for one, it's not going to get to the point where stuff is spontaneously combusting because of heat, heat, fuel, oxygen kind of thing. You need it. Fire. That's what that's what starts the fire. Especially in an area that has sub 60 temperatures, 60s, maybe low 70s. You have marine layers. They got all kinds of shit. So for somebody, to think like, oh, this is what happens because of climate change. No, this is what happens when you get fucking drugged out people walking around the streets, or, career arsonists, or whatever it is, whatever the case is, because, it's not just a spontaneous thing. And I'm completely on this one. Nothing was spontaneously going on. It wasn't fucking weather related. None of that shit. You got these assholes now that are starting fires and purposely fucking shit up just for their simple enjoyment. And if you disagree, I think you're fucking crazy. So there's that. So back onto the fires shit. You have, and it was, I was just disputing this with the guy the other day. He goes on a comment on Instagram. He goes, "You're telling me right now that the winds are not the cause of this?" And I'm like, no, dickhead, because I could put 50 box fans in front of my fucking fireplace and stack piles of wood up to the ceiling and put as much energy into having as much air go into this as possible. Nothing's going to fucking happen, especially in the winter climate like that. It's not going to happen. We need to face it. It's not fucking climate change, and it's not just spontaneously combusting into these massive fucking fires. Not going to fucking happen. So he comes back and he's like, well, please explain to me what happens. And I commented back a fucking long ass reply. And I was like, I'd be glad to. For one, you need to blame Gavin Newsom. This is what it comes down to right here. Gavin Newsom worried about protecting a fucking smelt fish that's basically has nothing to do with the fucking ecosystem now. It's completely been fucking switched up and is doing its own thing now. So that was his purpose for draining the fucking water back out into the ocean. All the collected rainwater and the melt water from snow that's, melted and trying to come down south. He reroutes all this shit into the ocean. The reserves are fucking empty. There's no water in reserves for emergency situations like this. And then you have Karen Bass, who was just newly elected. Everybody fucking swore that she was a godsend. Why? Because she's a Democrat. So they elect her. She takes a trip to Ghana and is just fucking off the map. She's out there doing whatever the fuck it was she was doing out there. And then they say, hey, bitch, California is burning to the fucking ground. Your city specifically. She goes, oh, shit. She jumps on the plane, comes back, and then it gets fucking bombarded by reporters. And the reporters are asking her, like, hey, what's the deal with this? Like, what do you have to say? And she just sits there and just looking at the fucking ground like, hey, pick your fucking head up. You're the leadership here in LA. Like, people are relying on your leadership right now. And says nothing. Then you have fucking shithead Gavin Newsom comes down to California and sits with his fucking hands on his side like this as there's homes burning. Photo op time. It's photo op. It's a classic Gavin Newsom Democrat move. They come during times of fucking heartache and pain or whatever other people are going through after their houses are fucking squared away, wherever the fuck that may be at. And he just goes and is looking around, and, the guy next to him's pointing at shit. He doesn't hear a fucking thing because he's an idiot. Clearly, he's a fucking idiot. And so they come down and do their photo ops, and then it gets revealed that Karen Bass took away almost $18 million of the funds for the fire department in LA. And it just got revealed today in like some kind of weird document that she actually cut another $49 million off of the budget just weeks before all this shit happened. So you're seeing firefighters and personnel and whoever they can get, going up to these fires and they don't have a fucking pot to piss in. They don't have the equipment. They can't get helicopters. They can't get fucking planes to fly up there. One, because there's like turbulent air and all this shit. So it was impossible for planes and helicopters to operate, which is, that's kind of out of their control. But the thing is, there's fucking fire hydrants up there that don't have water coming out of them. They can't get into reserve water because it's been drained and is under construction, which they told the fire chief about. And she goes, "Oh, really? I had no idea. They didn't tell us about this." This is live on TV. They're interviewing the fire chief out there, and she was just kind of like, "Nope, had no idea. No idea." So people are looking to blame climate change. They're looking to blame, extreme drought. The thing that they're fucking forgetting about is Gavin Newsom was told about all this shit years and years and years ago. Clean up the fucking forest areas, clean up the forest floors, get your fire roads under control, and clean up all this shit and make this an avoidable situation. And if it does happen, it's on a smaller scale. It's not going to fucking sit there and displace 100,000 plus people. And what did he do? He said, "All right, cool. I guess we're just going to take funds and do it, give this to LGBTQ. We're going to home, the illegal immigrants. We're going to, do this. We're going to hand out free crack pipes and fucking just go on a gallivant of stupidity," basically, is what it comes down to. Just a bunch of stupid fucking moves. And now he has nothing to say for it, except for, "We're going to look into getting help from the government. The government's going to give us aid and this and that." Well, you look back a few years ago now, 2 years plus now, Karen Bass gave the fucking Ukrainians supplies from the fire department. Why? Because we're all, I can't even say we, Californians and the rest of the mental people in the states throughout the country were busy with their hearts bleeding for Ukraine. Nobody gives a fuck about Ukraine. I'm sure those fucking Democrats that voted for Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass right now that are sitting on the fucking beachfront where their couches and TVs and shit used to be at are all in ashes right now. I bet you if you gave them any chance in the world to go back into a voting booth today, that shit would be redder than the devil's dick. Los Angeles would be. I can guarantee that. And it's going to be real interesting to see what happens this next election cycle, because nobody's going to stick around. It's been exposed now. The Democrats don't give a flying fuck, especially here in California. They already showed their cards on a national level this last election, who they really fucking care about. So it's a sad situation. People lost everything. They're interviewing a guy that's 91 years old. He's at his house for 60 fucking years, now has nothing. And what are they going to say? "Oh, we're looking into getting you guys help." Help from who? Because their fucking insurance policies are long gone. Those went up in smoke just like their fucking houses did. And it's fucked because that's everything they've ever known. And what does the news do? "Oh, all the superstars and movie stars and singers and actresses and actors, they've lost their homes." Who gives a fuck? Yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, those people got fucking billions of dollars to go fucking rebuild wherever they fucking want. These people over here that are in Altadena that might not have money like that, I'm sure they want some fucking attention too. But once again, the news media is like, "Oh, the superstars lost their house. The guy that fucking won the lottery spent $40 million on a house. Now he's got fucking sticks and ash to go back home to." That kind of shit is covered way too much, and they overcover the celebrity side of all this bullshit. Like, "Oh, go cry for them. Go cry for them." And pay no attention. They don't have any kind of like concern for the smaller guy, which is fucking irritating to see, quite frankly. And it just sucks, dude. It sucks. And it's going to be a slap in the face when they ask for FEMA funds. Oh, FEMA's going to come. It's declared a state of emergency. What fucking money does FEMA have? They gave all the money and everything else to Ukraine. Maybe they should fucking bring some of the Ukrainians over here to help rebuild homes or donate money to funds for people or something like that. No, that'll never happen. Never happen. Meanwhile, we got guys carrying fucking Dasani water bottles in fucking water bags, dumping them on fucking people's houses that are burning. We have people that are trying to push fires back with garden hoses and dying, you know? And Karen Bass doesn't give a flying fuck. She doesn't care. She gave all that shit, all that stuff that could have been used, resources and equipment, go donate to Ukraine. So that's where we are. That's where California is. And it's gonna be like that until some shit changes. And I hope this, as fucked up as a situation as this is, I hope this turns the tide in California and makes people wake the fuck up. They prioritized a fish over your well-being in your life. You know what I mean? And I'm thankful I don't have, you know, any kind of situation that's fucked up like that, because I don't know what I would do personally. You know, you got an hour or whatever it is to, if even that, to, you know, evacuate. What are you going to pick? You know, what do you take with you? You know, a lot of people lost, you know, shit they can never get back. You know, maybe it's like a family heirloom, or like their, but you know, your grandparents or your parents' ashes or some, you know, shit like that they don't think about and take into account. That's the shit that people care about, and they don't give a fuck because they're busy giving money away to shit that nobody cares about. In the real world, nobody fucking cares about the drug addicts that are out there wasting their lives. Let them fucking overdose and fucking die, dude. Don't spend our resources on stupid shit, coddling people. And we're gonna build a huge tower here, and then we're gonna donate this money to gay funds and LGBTQ funds and all this other shit. There's hundreds of millions of dollars that have gone to that shit. They built a fucking high speed rail, you know, to where? And it's been like fucking 10 years. All that money that could be used in multitude of different ways has been pissed off, and now they have nothing to show for it except for a burned ass fucking beachfront and communities behind it, amongst other people that are in other areas, and they're saying, oh, it's climate change. Well, then tell me why they just caught a guy yesterday. The people in the neighborhood caught this guy, right? He goes into a garage with a fucking blowtorch, and they're like, what the fuck? So a bunch of the neighbors come out, pounce on this dude, and then the cops get there. And then you have a press conference today that says, oh, the guy wasn't arrested on suspicion of arson. He was only arrested on a felony warrant. Has nothing to do with him setting this, you know, trying to set this person's house on fire. Like, what the fuck? And then you have all the prick looters that come in the aftermath of everything and go and fucking steal what people have left. So now they got the National Guard, and it should be shoot on sight. Don't fucking even talk to them. If they cross the line onto that property, shoot their fucking ass. Don't even debate it, and just go back to your business. Because you're seeing people on video running into people's houses that are literally just bare bones structure. There's some beams and a fucking piece of the ceiling hanging down, and they're stealing fucking TVs and all kinds of bagfuls of shit right out of these people's houses. And what's going to happen to them? Nothing. Nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to get fucking put right back on the street to be pieces of shit again. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys, like I said, in California, you better fucking think twice before you vote for a fucking Democrat next time. Because this is the kind of shit that they care about. They don't give a fuck about you. And it's been it's been decades now. So wake the fuck up. You know what I mean? San Bernardino County did. LA has now been flipped red, I believe. And I'm just going to say it. So just remember this episode, the first episode of 2025, when we're in 29 voting, that's what the fuck's going to happen. Or 28, whatever it's going to be. California's going to be red. Red as fuck. And that's what it's going to take. It's going to take shit like this for people to understand just the gravity of the shit. How much you can fuck places up by what you vote for. You lay down with dogs, you're going to get it with fleas. And that's what it is. Speaking of fleas, Judge Juan Marchand today tried to do his public humiliation one last time for Donald Trump. Tried to parade him around like he's a fucking criminal and all this other shit. And it's just one of those little, you know, one of those hoax cases again that ended in an unconditional discharge by the court. So basically he has no prison time, no fines, and it's just see you later. Good luck in the White House kind of thing. And if you think for a second that once he gets into the White House on the 20th this month, he's not going to fucking drag these people through the dirt, I can't fucking wait to see everybody that was involved in all these hoax cases over the past 8 years just fucking burn, dude. They're gonna be so fucking fucked. It's gonna be amazing to see. It's gonna be a sight to see. You're gonna see all these people that were in the fucking on the low, the whole time feeding people stories and this and that and coming up with crazy cases and trying to put them in jail and, give them felonies and all this other shit. All of those cases have been fucking wiped out, and it's like like my brother when he was on the last couple episodes was talking about it, and he's been saying it for years, dude. Like, in the end, we win. That's what he says all the time. In the end, we win. And it's not just kind of like that's a thought process. It's a fucking it's a reality now. We fucking won. And what's going to happen on the 20th? We're going to start fucking winning so bad. It's going to be insatiable, dude. Like, you just won't be able to get enough of it. And it's a great time to fucking be alive, dude. It's going to be so badass. And I'm really excited for it. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. January 20th couldn't get here any sooner. And I'm glad to be podcasting specifically now because it's not going to be fucking horror stories of fucking Joe Biden saying stupid shit and embarrassing people and donating money to places that don't give a fuck, about anything. And speaking of Joe Biden, real quick, he came and made an appearance with Gavin Newsom the other day, and they asked him like, oh, what's going on? How are we going to get help for California? And instead of answering any questions, he goes, well, I'd just like to say that today I became a great grandfather. And they're like, anybody else in the room not give a fuck? Like, we don't care. You're like 190 years old. Like, okay, you're done. You have less than fucking 2 weeks left. Like, fucking cool, dude. What are you going to do for the state? Obviously had nothing to say. So it's going to be a drastic change. Going to have a fucking badass fucking president again that makes the world fearful of the USA. And it's going to be just a fucking amazing ride the next 4 years. And whoever is a successor to Trump has got to kill it. Like I said, right from the jump, they got to be thinking about the next election cycle, or it's all going to come crumbling down again. So, yeah, that's my little spiel for all the political shit and local news, I guess. And to end it all, I am excited specifically tonight because it is A1 Eve, baby. And you know this because if you've been listening to the podcast since the beginning of the show, I had referenced Supercross. I've mentioned it multiple times on just different little things throughout the season. And for me, tonight is like how people from like the football scene or, football fans or baseball fans, they get hyped for like the opening day or like the kickoff for the football season. The thing I'm excited for is Anaheim 1, the season opener, and the season will run through, I think, September or something like that when they have the world finals and stuff like that. And it's nonstop, dude. It's going to be the most baddest ass year of Supercross, I think, in a really long time, just because the stakes are so high. And yeah, dude, I'm excited as fuck to go to Anaheim tomorrow. It's gonna be a good time. We go annually to usually the first Anaheim race. If not, we'll make the A1 and A2. And yeah, I'm like, it's like the first day of school tomorrow, kind of excitement, like a Christmas Eve when you were a kid excitement. That's how I am right now. It's going to be fucking amazing to see the first gate drop and just all the intensity of the racing and all the new teams and riders and just everybody mixing it up, dude. I think it's going to be some bar banging tomorrow. I'm anxious to see what Hayden Deegan does. I'm anxious to see what Jet Lawrence does, Hunter Lawrence, all the dudes on the 250 West Coast, and RJ Hampshire. His ass doesn't want the smoke with Hayden Deegan this year on the West Coast. He's the defending West Coast champion, and he's going racing East Coast. And I kind of like, okay, well, you ran your fucking mouth a lot last year, dude. A lot. And then you got fucking spanked by this dude in the finals, the playoffs and finals. You tried to make a run at him, and he beat your ass. So for him to kind of go to East Coast this time, I thought was kind of like a little pussy move kind of thing. But it is what it is, dude. Still gonna be sick. All the heavy hitters are gonna be racing tomorrow, the 250s and 450s, and I'm just really fucking excited because this is my favorite time of year when Supercross kicks up, and then it just goes week after week after week after week. And even when I'm on travel, I watch the races, I get updates. I'm like fully locked in now with the Supercross and how to get the races. And oh, I'm just excited, dude. So tomorrow is A1. I know a couple people that are going. We're all going. Myself, Kayla, my brother, and my dad will be down there hanging out. And yeah, dude, just looking forward to some fucking action tomorrow and throughout basically the whole year, dude. It's a long ass season, and yeah, you're gonna be hearing me talk a lot about the Supercross probably in the different episodes this year. Um, and I got a lot of planned for this year, man. I want to get more active on the social medias and stuff like that. We'll see if the Supreme Court really does ban TikTok. I don't know. Um, I even considered, not gonna lie, like pushing some media stuff for the show on there. Just trying to get more of a following this year, kind of just build it up and just level up a little bit, man. Had a good first year last year, like I said in the beginning, and looking forward to this year, man. I want to stay more consistent, and I know like work and traveling and stuff like that gets in the way sometimes, and just life in general. So don't hate me if I miss an episode or two here or there. I'm trying my hardest this year to stay consistent and hopefully bringing you guys some entertaining shit. And yeah, man, once again, shout out to everybody this past year and even into this year that are participating and giving me feedback and stuff like that, and shooting over recommendations or questions or whatever you guys may have. Um, I really do appreciate it, and for the following that I do have right now on social media and stuff, even though I'm not really like on it always with that. I appreciate it. Everybody supporting the show. I just do this for just shits and giggles, man, because I like to talk shit, and this is my way of giving that to you guys. Because I know a lot of people ask me about this or oh, what's going on with this. What are you gonna do with this? It's like, what do you think about that? And I give it to them, but this is another way for me to just full on release everything that I have to say. So shout out to everybody listening, man. I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to getting this year started off right. We're going to get some good shit in here. The studio now has been dedicated to the podcast, so I no longer have to tear down and set up everything every time. And it's cool to have a little chill space also if I want to just work on some media type shit in here. And it's a little more comfortable than being out in the big room. And I don't know, man. I'm going to try to spruce it up a little more. Got some cool shit on the way, and yeah, thanks for everybody for listening, and we'll be coming to you guys soon again. I'm sure here within probably the next few days. I don't know, man. I'm just gonna be trying to be active on here. Honestly, that's really what I want to do. So yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Later.